Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your, well, it's a double duty show this evening. It is the fan reaction to Rotherham 2, Ipswich Town 2. I called it a thriller on Twitter. Was a bit sarcastic, but I wanted to use the Michael Jackson Thriller gift, and I got it in. But yeah, we're here to discuss that and also look ahead to Swansea at the weekend. And as always, we can't do these shows without you wonderful people at home, either getting active via our live chat or hitting the link. There will be a link. It will be a shorter period for people to join us from home this evening. So when that link drops, click it. And if you don't get on, as always, I do apologize. I'll try and get through as many of you as I possibly can. But if people go into their opinions with some detail, obviously that will unfortunately knock some people off the able to be put in list. I'm not quite sure where I was going with that sentence, but there we go. I am your host, the Gov. Looking forward to this evening. Hit the like button, subscribe. We hit the 5,000 mark. We smashed it. I think we were all surprised in the TT WhatsApp group. We woke up all rather shocked at hitting the 5,000, not just hitting it, but going well over it. So thank you all for hitting subscribe. And if you haven't done so yet, please do so. And you can support the show by becoming a fifth stander as well. $4.99 a month. Cancel at any point through Ko-Fi, or go to your YouTube page and hit the join button. And we have got a sponsor as well. We have partnered up with Stowmarket Osteopaths. They are based in Stowmarket. I do use them myself, so I can say they are really good at what they do. Stowmarket Osteopaths focus on delivering the highest quality of patient care in a relaxed and welcoming atmosphere. Founded in 1985 and has since been grown and developed into, I think, an absolute first-class practice. And I can't speak highly enough about them. Call 01449 613 633. That's Stowmarket Osteopaths for all your aches and pains. Give them a call. Right, into the action. We have got lots of you coming in to the live chat. Love to see it. Mr. Diamond, I hope Mr. McKenna can get his hand out of you. And his due to tactics before the cup break. A slight on Kieran McKenna. I was not expecting to read that within the first 3 minutes of tonight's show. Max Facts, make sure you jump across to Talking Cricket and give it a thumbs up. Absolutely, they were live. Mike D, still being unbeaten away from home is some record. Ben's out of hospital. Great news, Ben. We absolutely love that. I hope you're doing well, my man. Hope to see you on Saturday when we obviously take on Swansea at Portman Road. I do ask you for 3-word reviews, and I do ask you for questions, moans, rants, opinions, whatever it is across our social media. Do go and follow us on whatever social media platform you use. I've got a couple to kick us off, and I'll do some 3-word reviews at the end of the Rotherham reaction. We've got Richard Chandler, I think last night highlighted how much we miss some key players. Burns, Brody, and Williams all missing from a starting lineup. Also, officials should not be relegated for poor performance. They should be somewhere they can't influence games. Not relegated to a league without VAR. Andrew Leggett. Too many players dropped their levels slightly since the international break. Before we had a team of 8. Now we have majority of 6s with the odd 7. Still a great start. Just need players to get their individual levels up. Then the team performance will go back up as well. Do you agree with those two comments? Mike Baker, to me and told Town fans out there thinking we have the right to, he says, piss all over teams. Oh, my Lord. Yes, we dropped 2 points, but in my eyes, it's another point earned on the road. We're still a work in progress. Let's just keep it together until the January transfer window. We'll have more of your opinions from our social media platform across our social media platforms rather towards the end of our Rotherham look. But for now, let's get the lads in. I'm joined once again by a man who was there and the man from Del Monte, Richard Moss, Matthew Phillips. Welcome in, fellas. I won't play a 30-second intro. We'll get straight into it tonight. You had a couple of the fans there. We've got the live chat roaring away, but we'll get your early thoughts. Rich, you were there. You were in the cold. It wasn't as wet as the first fixture could have been. But how did you see it from the luxury of your seat in the New York Stadium?
Well, I had about 6 pints. Yeah, I had a nice burger and chips at the social club. Look, it wasn't a great game. Wasn't a great game, was it? Let's be honest. I I spoke to Matt, obviously, on the way home after the show. And like you said, I think that's 4 games now, Matt, where we've conceded first.
Yeah, that is a bit annoying, Matt. But
yeah, well, it's more than annoying. It gives you an uphill task, doesn't it? When I think I said on Sunday show, right, Rotherham, first 20 minutes, let's start fast. Let's get a goal. Lo and behold, 4 minutes in, we're 1 down. But look, I did say, like on my title, exceeding expectations. We are massively exceeding expectations, and people need to just look. I know we're all disappointed, and I said to you on the show when I popped on last night, if the game had ended 1-1 last night, we'd have all probably thought, yeah, it's not the greatest performance, but we'll take a point on the road and we move on to the next game. It's because we get that late goal from Jack Taylor, Jack's main man.
Jack's goals popping up in the box like Paul's goals used to. I told you, boys. Told you.
I don't think he's anywhere near his levels, and he's not ginger.
But it's coming. It's coming.
But,
all right.
But that's why you're disappointed, because we get 2-1 up on 87 minutes, and you think, right, this is another 3 points on the road. We haven't played that well, and then it's a sucker punch, Matt, and I've watched it back. It's a great goal. It's a great goal from Rotherham, and he's popped it straight in the top corner. So you've just got to suck it up. There'll probably be times when it's like after Saturday, we were feeling like we'd won the game when we were 2-0 down and we've come back. Whereas last night, it's boot on the other foot. But it's football. You've just got to suck it up. You've got to get on with it. And we've got another game on Saturday, another important game against Swansea before the break, and get a victory there, hopefully. And then we go into the international break, and we're still going to be a good number of points clear of 3rd place.
Matthew Phillips, what do you think? Because Mitch says, we're beating expectations. I said last night a little bit, are we setting new expectations?
Well, yeah, I think everyone just need a little bit of a reality check, I think. Because if we carried on this form, we're what, 15 games, 36 points? That's 2.4 points per game. We'd finish on 110 points. I mean, that would crush Reading's record that season. They got promoted before even bloody the clocks had gone forward or back or wherever how it works out. I can never work it out. Look, we haven't lost either of the away games, but such is the expectation that we think we can roll up and win these matches. But it was very difficult on Saturday, and we came from 2 goals down to get a 2-2 draw, and it was brilliant. And I can't remember who it was. I think it's Garant on Twitter I'd seen. He said, it's polar opposites in it. 2-2 draws away from home. One we're ecstatic about and one we're gutted about. I thought that was a really good way of describing it. Listen, we've not lost games. I don't see this as being a blip. Swansea at home on Saturday, I feel like is very winnable. I know they've got a pretty good away record, but we've put mainstay championship clubs to the sword at Portman Road. Stoke being one of them, Blackburn being another, Cardiff being another. I think with 30,000 behind us, I think we can get back on track again.
Fair point.
That's how I see it,
Fair points from both of you, and I think the vast majority of the fan base will subscribe, just like they have done to Talking Town, to those 2 views. But as always, in this chair, I've got to offer the counterbalance, and there will be people at home saying we've not played well over the course of insert however many games you want to insert. Does that concern you, Richard?
It's the championship. It's the championship. We ain't coming up against Forest Green and Accrington when you can have a bit of an off day and you can still roll these teams over, as you see last night. And I know Rotherham, they're struggling a little bit down the bottom. They've got, I think that's 10 points, Matt, out of the 11 that they've taken. They've taken at home. So that's obviously their strong point where they're picking up points. Yeah. So it is a case of there is no easy games. I know people say, Rotherham away, you should go and beat them. But what gives us the right? What gives us the right to just expect to go there and just beat these teams? And the levels have been a little bit down from probably when we come back. But we've had injuries. We're missing some key players. We're massively missing Wes Burns. I don't care what anybody says. It's one of those ones where I've said it before. Sometimes when players are out the side, Matt, their value sort of goes up. So, and with him, you have really missed what Wes has done. Caden Jackson, look, we know what Caden can do, and he can run his heart out all night, but I don't think he's of the same level. You're missing Brandon Williams, obviously. I know Broadhead didn't play last night. I think he had a little bit of illness. So
he did, yeah.
There you've got 3 key players. And if you're going to do anything in this league, you're probably going to need them 3 in your team. And we're going to have to be lucky with injuries and suspensions going through the season, because that's just how it is. But I don't think anyone can be unhappy where we are as a football club. I know they're disappointed, and I get that. And I come out that ground last night and I'm annoyed. But then I have to check myself and think, did anybody expect Town to have one defeat in the first 15 games? You know, did they think that? And look, you have to look at Leicester when they went there, Matt. They only just nicked a 2-1 win late there when they went there. So it's not an easy place to go. Of course, we're disappointed that we didn't win. And look, I know what Joe says, their expectation because they're a club in the bottom three. I get all that and I take that all on board, but it's another point on the board. Let's just go again Saturday. Let's go again Saturday, and hopefully we can get a good win there. I'd love to keep a clean sheet on Saturday because we cannot keep shipping 2 goals a game. We cannot keep doing that. And if we want to do anything this season, and we're hoping to get out of this division, or be in the playoffs, I'd still take a playoff place now. If you handed me a playoff place tonight, I'd say thanks very much. You know, I really would. And people will say, well, that's a bit defeatist. You're second in the league and you're 8 points clear. But there's still what? How many games have we got left? Is that 30? Have we played 15 31. Now, is it?
31.
15, yeah.
It's a lot of football.
Yeah, still 93 points there, Matt, to play for. So,
good match.
Look, Leeds, never great at match. Leeds and Southampton and Leicester. They've got better squads than we have. They've got Premier League players. So let's just get behind the boys Saturday. And Swansea are down there. I think they're. Is it Patino, the midfielder on loan from Arsenal? He's suspended. Yeah. He's one of their best midfielders. So I expect Town to win. Will it be comfortable? Town at home, Matt. It'll probably be. What do you say? We need a St John's ambulance again. I think you've said that on more than one occasion after the game.
Give me oxygen. Give me brandy. Probably a 9-goal thriller is probably what it will be. But look, look, people are disappointed. But you know, the league, as I said to you last night, Mike, the League One champions with 100 points plus are down in 19th. And here we are sitting in second. So come on, let's just tailor expectation. We've not lost either game. Now, if we'd lost 2 games on the trot, I would say that's a blip. I think 2 games where we've not lost away from home, you know, newsflash, we'll probably do it again at some point over the next 31 games. So let's just tailor expectations. And, you know, what's wonderful is that Kieran identifies where we've conceded. He said, you know, that the equaliser for 2-2, you know, we didn't kind of work to the game plan. We've worked on that on the training ground. There's stuff to be done there. So whenever we don't win the game, you know, you know, they say in mixed martial arts, you either win or learn. And we didn't win last night, so therefore we've learned. And we've seen that he can bounce back from, you know, when we haven't done very well. And I expect us to do that on Saturday. To get behind them. 29,000 will be in the stadium again. It's all positive for me, quite frankly. We are 8 points clear, by the way. That's 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you ruin the chance of going 10. So it's almost, you know, it's a rich man's problem in a sense. Of, you didn't go 10 points clear. When I was chatting to Colin on the phone yesterday, he knows a couple of Leeds fans that work on the market in Bury St Edmunds. And they said, look, we're not too worried about Ipswich. But if you suddenly got to 10 points clear of us, that might be something that we couldn't catch. We ain't that far away. No, and obviously, a right result on Saturday, you could be 11, and you know you could be looking at it in a different way. You mentioned Wes Burns' absence there, and Richard Chandler, on our social media platform, there's alluded to it. We are missing Wes, and I'm not going to take away from that fact. But are we playing into a little bit about what we were talking about in the summer, where we always knew, if you lost to Wes Burns, did you have a player ready to come in who could offer the same type of quality? Caden Jackson runs and runs and runs, but in the quality department maybe can be a little bit lacking at this level, it could be argued. Amari Hutchinson, a very young player, but is his best work done in the last 15, 20 minutes of a game? Are you missing that proven right winger, Rich, that we sort of spoke about at length over the summer?
Yeah, but they've signed Amari to fill that role, so he's a young player, and you're going to have your peaks and troughs. I think with Caden, they're 2 different players as well, Matt. Caden can run all day. He's got pace. But he hasn't got a trick, I'd say. As a wide player, he's not going to beat a player. Amari can go both ways. You know, he can come in on his left foot. So it is a squad game, and hopefully Wes will be back, I think, after the international break. But he's played, 100 games, I think, Wes? And he's been pretty consistent and very... we've had a bit of luck there with injuries, because a couple of times I think he's had injuries, but he's not been out for that length of time. And we're lucky here because that shoulder injury, Matt, could have been, if he'd have dislocated it in operation, that could have been months out. So he's missing a few games. He's missing a few games. Yeah, we've taken 8 points from 12 when he's missed. It's not bad, is it?
No, it's really good. And Dave Pascoe says, but Matt, sorry to cut across you there. Burnley's side through October, November 99 lost to Grimsby, Man City, who were bad back then, kids. QPR and Huddersfield. Also goalless with Norwich and Tranmere, and Norwich have always been bad. We know that. So
it's a slog, though, isn't it? It's 46 games. We say it's nearly 50 matches. You know, we haven't got robots playing. This is not FIFA. It's not Football Manager. You know, I mean, look, people have been critical of Wes Burns. I don't know why. We've said that he probably needs a little bit of competition, keep him on his toes. You don't want anyone feeling like their place is safe in the side. But what he's given his club, I think, in 100 games has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, he had that breakout season when he first joined us and was Player of the Year. And then, you know, you had Leif Davis onto the left-hand side because everything was that first season that Wes was with us. Everything was on his shoulders. Then you had Leif on the left-hand side and it takes the pressure off him. People were like, oh, well, he's not so good this year. Well, newsflash, it's because we had a decent player on the left, right? So, I mean, look, you don't sort of blink on these players. These are decent players. And the fact that we are eight points clear at the moment, I think is fantastic. And, you know, that's 3 games. That's 3 games where Leeds have got to do something, put a run together, and we've got to put a run of losses together. At the moment, we ain't losing games. We've lost 1 in 15. So, you know, if anyone's seeing negative out there needs to give their head a wobble, basically.
I think you say 1 in 15, Matt, and then you add on the, 20 games from Bristol Rovers or what it was. It's like it's about 30 games. And we've scored in what? I think, is it 35 games consecutively now we've scored?
Yeah. I mean, we even scored Saturday before we did. You know, we're that good. We even gave Birmingham the second.
If you're winning home games, you're getting your 3 points there, and you do, you know, 2 away games back to back, and you get a point there. What did McCarthy say? You're getting 4 points average over 2 games. That's going to get you promoted. So just look at the positives of the draws. If we'd lost, I'd get it. Oh, shit. We're on the slide. We're on a blip. We've just lost to bloody Birmingham with a new manager and Rotherham in the bottom 3. But we haven't.
We've not lost an away game. How many away games is that, Martin, now we played? Is that 7? Exactly. 7 on the road or 8?
Could be.
We're unbeaten.
In the Championship, everybody. It's not League One.
No, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the wider review. Let's get into some player performances, and then I've dropped the link. So if you do want to come on, click it, and I'll put you on when we can. But we'll start with George Hurst, Velcro. Streaky says Hurst has someone hanging around his neck most of the time now, which he and rest is a counter. And Matt says, can we ask the serious question? When will George Hurst get a free kick? Or in yesterday's case, a penalty? Guy is manhandled every game. Rich, it's a penalty as the day is long, in my opinion.
Well, I spoke to the fisherman last night. The fisherman said they both weren't penalties, and I was like, "Blimey, really?" We didn't have a great view because it was obviously down the other end. But I've watched the replay back. I will say he slips a little bit, but he has his leg taken away from him. There's no doubt. I think Sky said, didn't they, Matt, that it was a stonewaller, Clinton Morrison.
Clinton and JB McAnuff both said stonewall pen. That's good enough.
So he was. Is he been relegated from the Premier League, or he used to be a Premier League referee, didn't he?
No. Yeah, I think so.
Graham Scott. The handball that was at our end. That's another one where
all day, every day for me.
Yeah, he's got his hand. It's out here. It's unnatural position.
I've not really seen that one back. It's the Hurst one, isn't it?
I'm sure I heard the words. The arms in a natural position. I may have been wrong, and I may be misquoting the commentator.
It was hit. I'm right in thinking it was here, though, right? It's above his shoulder.
Yeah. He's got it out. It's Kelly. It's Kelly, wasn't it? The guy who came on as the striker. Yeah. But getting back to George Hurst, I don't think he had his best game. He's getting caught offside a little bit now. He's getting a little bit of Macaulay Bond syndrome there. But he offers so much. The thing is that a lot of people don't understand, and when these strikers, they think that they're being fouled, don't ever think that George Hurst has not got a hold of the centre half, because he has. He's got his arms because he's feeling where they are. So sometimes it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But I think we haven't had a penalty. Obviously, I think it was Barnsley last year. But yeah, look, you do have to sometimes rely on the officials, Martin, to help you out. And we can't sit here and say we might have missed the penalty. You don't know, but at least give us the opportunity to score it. But
it felt like he had a good view of the Hurst foul in terms of where he was running, where he was playing.
Looking straight at it. He's looking straight at both of them. He's looking straight. There's no excuse for the one from the corner because he's looking straight at the incident. So if you've got VAR, I think probably will both of them be. It would
have been given. But both would have been given. I think. If you take the Chelsea Spurs game as your blueprint of VAR decisions, I think that both would have been given. But look, you could argue we got away with one against Plymouth. Everyone was 50-50 on that. I think the Fisherman made a good point last night, actually. Had Hurst not fallen forward, but fallen backwards, that felt like that was more of the natural.
But he slipped. I think if you see, he's slipped. He's not looking. I don't even think he's looking for the penalty. I don't even think he's looking at going down.
He's connected with his, at the end of the day, regardless of which way he's fallen, forwards or backwards, he's connected with his ankle, and it would have been a penalty on VAR. But you know, you have to accept this is sport and it's match officials, and in the Championship, you haven't got unless it's goal line tech, you haven't got the luxury of technology. You have to go. There's going to be human error in what we're doing.
It's like today. It's like today, boys. I reffed the game. Anglia Ruskin Uni versus Loughborough University. It was a cup game, and it was
any reds,
and it was
many
one. There was one red. And it was like, listen, I'll tell you what happened. So it's extra time. It's gone to extra time because it's a cup game, and the pitch was very sticky, and it was the number 12's come in. He's lost his head, flying off the floor, 2-footed, out of control. He's trying to tell me, there's nothing wrong with it. Even their team's goalie came over to me and said he's like lost his head, and that was his teammate. That was his teammate. So off he went. And this is football. You are only getting one look at these incidents. So it's fine. In the Premier League, we see it all the time. I don't know if either of you have heard the audio from the Newcastle Arsenal game on Saturday yet.
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you after the show. Craig's posted it on his Twitter. It is embarrassing. It is.
They're not having a great time, are they, officials?
No, they're not. And they're disagreeing. They're disagreeing with it. So, yeah, look, it's a hard job, but saying that, he's had two. I think he's got a good view of both of them, and you'd have to ask him why he's not given them.
What my biggest criticism of the people who say, the fall for George Hurst is we kind of live in we want players to stay on their feet world, but we equally, when they try and stay on their feet, when they try and ride the challenge, when they try and play to the whistle, it's, his fall was at this or his fall was that, or if he'd gone down, he would have got, like, a foul's a foul. Like, if we're trying to encourage players to stay on their feet, start giving fouls where players don't go down, but it is a foul. Because you're not encouraging the stay on your feet syndrome, are you? You're encouraging, if you feel a touch, hit the deck.
Is that one, Matt? If that's in the middle of the pitch, he gives a free kick.
Oh God, yeah, all the time.
100%.
Yeah,
you see it. You do see it, don't you?
But the frustration is, I suppose, that when you get, you talk about you being a ref, Rich, and you're refereeing universities, and you got people that are refereeing in the Premier League and they've got into the Championship. They should be the cream of the crop. So therefore, you're expecting, the error rate to be very low. But at the end of the day, it is human error, and he didn't give it. But like I say, we got away with one maybe against Plymouth, could have been given, would have changed the outcome of the game. Last night could have changed the outcome of the game. So I think in sport, you just have to suck it up, unfortunately. As annoying as it is.
Axel Tuanzebe got the nod last night. I'm not sure many people would have had him in the starting lineup leading into it, but he got the nod. How did you see his performance, Rich? I got one criticism of him, and that was the 3-minute pass diagonal where he's put it on my left back, who's, I think it's probably leaves first or second or maybe third touch, and said, "Here, I'll pick this out of the air," like your Dennis Irwin at Man United.
I did drop it. I did tell you he was playing, didn't I? I had a little bit of a whisper when we were in the old social club.
You did?
Say, right. So look, Leif David, it's not a great ball. He could head it. Because it's sort of, he's jumping and he's trying to control it on there, and it's not a great ball. And I still think there's quite a lot happens after that, and I still think he's a little bit. Does he know Nombe's behind him, Matt? I think it's a great ball in. It's a really good ball. If you look at the ball in, he's whipped it in a really, really good area.
It's a great goal from their point of view.
Should Axel have done more? I mean, he's first to the ball, right?
Well, he's got in between. I think it's Axel. And I think Harry Clark's behind him, and he's got in between them, sort of the blind side and
it's
stuck
good
it away.
movement, by the way, just to say from the striker to get in that area where your right back can't really come across and cover. Your centre half loses perhaps where you are.
Yeah, gets a toe to it.
You need that communication in that moment.
Yeah.
From your right back to your centre half.
Yeah,
and you
definitely.
don't always get it. So good from him.
But I think it's a bit of a surprise because I think when we had the guy from New York on, didn't we? The New York pod. Nombe's really, they spent quite a large amount of money for them, didn't they? I think it's $1 million from Exeter, and he's not really hit the ground running. And we probably thought Hugo would be starting, so he's come into the team and he's got his goal. I thought other than that, I thought Axel had a decent game, Martin. But I would still say, and I said to you last night, when you keep changing one of your centre halves, because we had Fridge played a couple of games, Burgess was out, and then you've got now Axel's coming for Wolfie.
Richard Keogh.
But
we are there again, though, right?
But you
just with some more quality.
Wolfie was on the bench, so I can't see that he's had an injury or he's ill because he wouldn't be on the bench. So I think it's a little bit harsh on him. But it's like I said last night, it's one of these now when these managers say, "Oh, I've got to give him minutes. I've got to give him minutes." Well, why have you got to give him minutes? Because we've come this far with Wolfenden and Burgess. And is it really any surprise when you keep leaking 2 goals a game, when you keep changing a centre half a game? Because Saturday you'll probably see Axel will be back on the bench and Wolfenden will come back into your lineup. So I thought he'd done okay. He's quite quick, Gov, and I think there's obviously a player. There are players there. But yeah, I just think get back to picking your best 2 centre halves and sticking with them. And I know he needs to get him up to speed because we might need him, Matt, because obviously when Burgess goes away in January.
But then Joe Cook makes a good point here. Will Tuanzebe and Wolfenden not be playing together?
I think they will.
Look, I think if anyone was going to be dropped after Saturday, it would probably been Burgess, in all honesty. I mean, look, did they feel like Wolfie had done... Look, he'd been ever-present, right? I think I'm right in saying that. He'd been ever-present since we started the season. So maybe they felt 14 games, we'll sit him down for a match and rest him up. But we did say after the Fulham game, when would Tuanzebe get minutes? I don't want Kieran to start getting into this bullshit of changing the squad up for no reason, because he did that against Bristol Rovers, and it's prompted me into some kind of get him gone meltdown. I don't want to be going back there again. You know, we've been having this kind of like mainstay side, you know, barring injury or illness. It seemed an odd one. I would have played Wolfenden, but, you know, you don't know. Maybe he didn't feel very well. Perhaps he had a headache. Perhaps he had upset stomach. I don't know.
I get we're in a high level now, and the games they're at a high level, and you might need to make some changes now and again. But I just think stick to your best 2 centre halves, whoever they are, you know, and just keep playing them. If they're having really bad games, you're going to have to take them out of the team. But it's a bit of a weird one.
What was the conversation that McKenna and Ashton would have had with Tuanzebe? Right, you've come out of Man United, you've been at Stoke, you've been at Villa, you've done some training with Luton, you can't agree a deal there, you've come to Ipswich. You might be able to get in the side, you might be on the bench.
You can't guarantee nothing in football.
What they guaranteed him, that's what I would like to know. But of course, we don't get these questions. This is how my mind works. What has he been guaranteed for Wolfenden suddenly to disappear out of an 8 points gap over 3rd place? Not to play.
Haladki is a key example of why you can't guarantee anything. No one saw Haladki.
Well, that's injury though, isn't it?
Yeah, but no one saw him coming. No one saw him coming into the team and being as phenomenal as he has. He has done. Now, if you'd guaranteed a player had to play,
some of us said he was a good goalkeeper. Me and Rich being one, and Hawks when we watched the Johnston Paints final, we said sign this guy, and lo and behold, we did.
Yeah, I once saw a young player on loan called Giovanni Dos Santos. I said, great player, be a great player for his whole career. You know, just call me Nostradamus. Like, come on, Matt. We can all pull out name. Raheem Harper.
I just find it weird that Tuanzebe, who has captained Man United, albeit for 1 game, still has captained Man United, played at Napoli. Have we ever had a player that's been at Napoli before?
You love that, didn't you? You must mention that every...
I think he only played 1 game, didn't he? Did he play 1 game?
That's one more game than Villa.
You know, that one night in Napoli.
Yeah, 1 night in Napoli. I like that. Yeah, 1 night in Napoli. It sounds like you've been like getting into some chicklet or something. one night in Napoli.
Like,
he's got pedigree. He didn't have to choose us. He could have gone Luton. I don't know. It's interesting. I just wonder what got the deal over the line. But that's just my mind thinking about, you know. That's my mind thinking about it. Really.
You mentioned the centre halves changing, which is a fair point, I think. But even more surprising is McKenna's following that blueprint. but in the central midfield area. And I don't want to. No, I don't want to do it again. You know, he's kept Morsey and Luongo ever present. Whenever they've both been fit, they've played together. You know, obviously when Lee Evans came in, it was because of a suspension. I can't think of any other occasion where it hasn't been a Morsey and a Mass 2, where it hasn't been a forced change. He's kept those two together, but the centre halves, he hasn't. Whereas Jack Taylor, you tracked him for 6 months. Here I go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You tracked him for 6 months. You spent good money on him, but you don't get the opportunity. Like, does it surprise you that he's not following the same blueprint with the centre halves as he obviously has done?
Does he not have the trust in him at the moment to start him? I said on Sunday, I don't think the last 2 away games have been Luongo's best performances. I don't think he's really he's been at it. And there does come a time when Jack Taylor, like I said on Sunday, guys, he has to come in for a prolonged run of games. I don't know if he starts Saturday because then you've got a break. I don't know. Is there an Australian internationals? Have they got some games, Matt?
I thought so.
Is he going away? So
imagine so, but I'm not 100% certain.
So there you go. So Mass is not getting, like I think, like you said on Sunday, Martin, Luongo's not getting that period of rest that he's needing. He's going to go away. He's probably going to have to travel. I know he was lucky last time because the games are both over here, weren't they? He played the game at Wembley and then they played New Zealand at Brentford. So the travelling wasn't. But if he's going to have to jet off to Australia, and then they're playing a couple of games, and then he's going to come back probably. I don't know if they play probably on a Tuesday and then the flight, and he's not going to get back till a Wednesday or a Thursday.
They play on the 16th at home to Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And they play. And then, well, yeah, this is what it says.
Is this not the cricket? Is this not the Cricket World Cup fixtures, Mark?
It could well be, actually.
Fixtures, isn't it?
It could well be.
They are playing Bangladesh. They are playing Bangladesh.
It could well be because hang on. So they played England, lost 1-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they beat New Zealand 2-0.
Yeah.
And the next 2 games after that, 16th of November at home to Bangladesh, 21st of November away to Palestine. That's what it says.
Really? Palestine?
I'll share the screen with you, all right? And you can believe me.
So that's on the 21st, and then we play West Brom on the 25th.
That's what it says there, correct? I'll just zoom in.
Yeah, I can see it. Palestine, look, 2 o'clock kickoff.
Palestine? Okay.
Yes, Matthew, Palestine.
I find that unbelievable.
So there you go. So he's going to have a lot of travelling there, Matt. So the 21st.
What is the point of those games? What is the point of their matches? Ridiculous. But he'll be pulled out of an injury. He'll have hamstring or something. Won't be able to travel.
Because you think you've got West Brom on the 25th there on the Saturday. So is that Taylor's chance then, Gov, after the break to come in?
Nah,
I don't know.
Mike D says grass is green, water is wet, and Gov talks about Jack Taylor. I wouldn't want anyone at home who's got Gov and Jack Taylor in the sweepstake to lose out.
He's come on and he's made an impact, and he's got a goal, and it could have been the match winner, you know. And
it's in the shirt.
Yeah, he was loving that when he run past us. I thought, get down the stairs, get down there, get on the barrier. Go on,
you
Jack.
thought we'd won it. We all thought we'd won it.
I did think we'd win it because if you watch the highlights of just before the Rotherham goal, and you can hear the town fans singing as clear as day, "We've got Super Kieran," and then it goes quiet because he's just bent it in the top corner. You think, shit. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, possibly.
The Palestine game will be postponed, surely. You'd imagine the Gaza Strip Arena probably isn't open for business right now.
Paul P, not sure that's going to happen. We've got Richard Chan. I think Morsey and Mass are getting unfair criticism. I think any game we've not had both start, it's not looked as good.
I don't think Rich anyone's criticising those two. I mean, bloody hell, what about Morsey's goal last night and the celebration?
Loved it, didn't he?
Richard Chandler, new merch idea, Gov, TT, bingo cards. Right, we'll go to Frank first because Frank didn't get on last night's show, so we'll put him on first. Frank, what are your thoughts this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're watching it?
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Rich. Hello, Martin. Well, my feelings are mixed a bit. You know, last night, I thought when we scored that goal, as we probably all did, we were going to go on to win it. And in fairness, and in hindsight, because you get very emotive at the time, as I did, it was another beer quickly swallowed. I came to the inescapable conclusion that, it was a point, was probably a fair point, apart from the referee, because I think this Graham Scott is supposed to be a Premier League referee, and we should have had, according to Sky, And I was watching on Sky, 2 Stonewall penalties. I have no reason to doubt those. And there could have even been 3. The Caden Jackson one is dubious.
Yeah.
And we would have been surprised, I guess, if we'd have got that one. But to get none of them with this referee, I know they don't have VAR, etc. But even if they had VAR, there's no guarantee that they would have got it right, because they make some bad decisions on VAR too. But I do think that officialdom should be brought into question again, and I've argued this many times. You need players, former players, to referee matches, and not referees that can't hardly kick a ball. I don't know about Rich. Probably he was a good footballer. He may be the exception to the rule. I don't know.
Not bad.
I saw a good little YouTube video with you actually talking about Cruncher.
Yes.
Yes. He was hang on. You were throwing me under the bus, weren't you? Even got the title of your show.
I was giving you some promotion. I was promoting the show as well, and the fact that we have
interesting, Frank. Interesting, because I did comment on there.
You did.
Like I said, I think it's on one of the platforms. It says an assist for Humphreys, and then on another it says it's not. So look, he was involved when he was involved in the goal. Well, he put him under pressure.
I did show you in slow motion what happened, and
he was slowing it down.
It was a blind spot over his head, and it landed on the feet of the goal scorer. And Amari Hutchinson, I suppose he was a second assist, but the BBC don't normally get these things wrong.
Pre-assist. It's a pre-assist, Frank. Gov loves them. Gov loves them. He loves them.
They don't exist. They don't exist.
No, and I did have a lot of support on my website saying that on my...
How many subscribers? How many subscribers now? 460?
460, yeah.
Let's get Frank to 500. Come on.
Thank you.
This is the next thing.
You're back in my good books. No, you're back in my good books, mate.
If you can't watch Talking Town, this is the next best thing. Frank, I've got a lot of people waiting, so I want to ask you one last question before I let you go. Marcus Harness had a storming cameo on Saturday. Many wanted him in the team. Tuesday, he got put into the team thanks to, as part of an illness to Broadhead. How did you see his performance? Because I thought he came on as the game went on, started poorly, but how did you see his performance?
More or less the same thing, Martin, because I thought he started fairly poorly. And one weakness that he's had, this is his Achilles heel, is he's not a very good passer of a ball. There have been exceptions this season, included in the Carabao Cup, but he gets a little bit lazy or lethargic with his passing sometimes and can be costly. And that's how he began yesterday. But as the game wore on, he got into it more and he played pretty well. One of the better performers for Town last night. So Nathan Broadhead, if he's well, he will come back into the team, I would think. I can't see him not being in the team, Nathan Broadhead, when he's fit.
Yeah, agreed.
Rich, obviously, great, as I said, great cameo. I always find, like Amari, he comes on better later in games, Marcus, where his tight ball control can really earn you a free kick, earn you a foul in a key area, or he can be a trickery player. He's not got pace to burn, is he? Let's be honest.
No. And I have to say something else we're neglecting, by the way. The Foxes haven't drawn a game so far this season, and on the law of averages, they're due 1 or 2. So it may be against Ipswich would take that, wouldn't he?
Well, you say that, Frank, but the way certain media broadcasters go on, it's only a Leeds and Leicester league, and we're just living in it for as long as we can live in it. They won't lose or draw a game again.
Let them think what they want to think, but we know different, don't we, guys? We know different.
Good man. We love you, Frank. Keep banging the drum and keep having a go at this man here. That will definitely get you the views.
Yes,
we've got 2 super chats from David. They are 2 €10 super chats. We absolutely love you, David. We appreciate you. Thank you, David, very much for the support. Richard Chandler, Hutchinson and Harness are both very good off the bench. Sharon Guest, really hope Broadhead gets to play on Saturday. Being from North Wales, he probably hates Swansea, says Sharon. Sean says, hope the players will feel that late equal just as much as the fans and learn from it. Quite telling when the Town fans simply clap the players off without chant. I'm guessing there was no fist bump for a 2-2, Rich.
No, there wasn't. Not last night. It was. We were thinking there was going to be one, but we'll. Harry can just save that up for Saturday. Hopefully,
he can save it. Now, man, who I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, has cancelled all his plans this evening because he wanted to come on Talking Town to speak about his football club. It is Mr. Phil Blundell. Phil, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going to run with it, really.
Apoplectic with rage last night after the game.
It's a big word for me, that is.
Apoplectic.
He still don't look happy now.
Phil, what's got you go? Tell us.
He's obviously
Guess. One guess really got me going after that game.
Hang on,
last night.
Phil. Hang on, Phil. Hang on, Phil. I feel like we need a little bit of a build up for this because if you're that angry, we need to play it.
Old school. Old school, that.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Floor
Go
is
on,
yours,
Phil.
Phil. Come on, Phil. The goat is out. Floor
Right.
is yours.
Graham fucking Scott. Guess who the fucking fourth official was at the Newcastle Arsenal game of the
Keep
weekend?
it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it to the
Just
point.
guess. Just guess. Ugh.
I don't
Scott.
watch Premier League football until we get there, Phil. I'm savouring that spoiler.
Have you heard, Phil? Have you heard the audio yet from the Newcastle Arsenal?
No, and I don't care. Who's the fourth official at the Newcastle Arsenal game is what I'm asking.
I don't know. Was it
Graham
the man in
Scott.
charge last
It's
night?
obviously Graham Scott.
Graham fucking Scott.
His name's not Graham effing Scott, Phil. It's Graham Scott. He might be actually. I don't know. I've not got his birth
What did he do
certificate.
wrong then, Phil? What did he
Graham's
do
going
wrong
to
in your
get
eyes?
slap, Scott.
No, he's not, Phil. Phil,
Yes,
calm
he
down.
is. Yes, he is.
He's a human being. He made a mistake or three.
Telling you, I'm not happy. He's going to get a slap from me.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, Phil, calm down. We don't condone any such behaviour. Phil, if you don't calm down, I'm going to have to take you off. Calm down.
2 Stonewall penalties in the same game.
Which one was the more?
Yeah, which one?
I want to say.
was
Okay,
number 1. And then the handball in the second half.
but
that
which one
natural
was
position?
the worst?
Unnatural
Well,
position.
the Hurst one was the worst because he clearly got his ankle, regardless of the way he went down. In actual fact, he wasn't going down. He was just slowing down his run.
Fair point. And then the handball, was it
And
not
the
a natural
handball-
position?
Unnatural position up here, regardless of whether the defender knew where his hand was or not. He shouldn't have had his hand up that high because it was in an unnatural position. And thirdly, the Jackson one for me, I've seen the replays, was a shoulder-to-shoulder contact, so no penalty for that one. But 2 Stonewall penalties.
But then you could also argue the free kick, which Lionel Messi, Morsey just calmly side-footed into the top corner like it was an everyday occurrence for a holding midfield player, wasn't really a free kick. Pin drop.
He was speechless, man.
It was
I'm
for
not-
me. It was for
I'm
me.
not
It
talking
was for
about
me.
Sam Morsey, Gov. I'm talking about Graham Scott, Hurst foul, and the handball in the second half. That's
I'm
3
just trying to even it up here.
That's
Phil.
3 things, not 2. So I've had me 2
Was that-
things.
Was that Phil for you? Was that Morsey goal one of the best goals you scored this season? It was
It's off
just
the training
sublime.
ground. It's a lovely, wonderful, well-timed goal. And yeah, so one of the better goals he'll score in his career.
It's great to see such creativity, I think, from set pieces.
Oh yeah.
And let's
He
look
needs
forward
to
to what
be
might
there, so
happen
that-
as the season rolls on. Do you know what I mean? It's great to see that because for a long time we weren't very good from set pieces, but certainly corners.
Gonna place a bet that Morsey's gonna get 10 goals this season.
What's he on at the moment? 1?
I think
One.
1.
Good luck with that. I once said Kane Vincent Young would score double figures, but he got injured.
He did.
He
and-
got another yellow last night, didn't he, Sam? I think he's
7.
on to
7
7
yellows.
yellows. Yeah,
Yep.
he's on to 7.
That's 10. I think 10 yellows is probably the safer bet.
But that was because was it Marcus Harness or was it Ladapo? I think it was not. I mean, Ladapo sort of passed it back into Morsey. It was such a terrible pass that Morsey had no option but to
Yeah.
clip the Rotherham player. Really, it was an awful pass back.
What was said in the audio from the weekend then?
I'll send it to you. You will
to you.
listen to it, and it's
It's gonna make me even more angry, isn't it? It's
It
gonna
is.
make me
Phil,
more-
go and calm down. We appreciate you coming on, my man. Look after yourself. You can always
Don't
come
have an
back when
Ovaltine,
you
Phil.
calm
Don't chill out.
down. Absolutely. I should just say, obviously, Phil is a very passionate man, and football is a very vibrant game, and fans are passionate. Colourful language is sometimes used, and controversial opinions are expressed. Content is often streamed live, and we are not always able to edit or censor material in advance.
You reading now something?
Advised.
You're reading out something,
It's
isn't it?
also cute.
There you go. Look.
Yeah, it's called Phil Blunt, their water cue. The thoughts, views, and opinions are expressed are those that
I'm a bit
contribute
disappointed. Bit disappointed that we didn't have one more question.
and do not necessarily prepare or to reflect.
Phil has
Talking about-
refereed at Portman Road, of course. So, you know,
He has,
knows what
but
he's
in
talking about.
all seriousness, obviously, apologies for the language used, and we do not condone such actions as described by Phil at all, not one bit, not one bit. Right?
No.
No.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
No.
But you've not done that when you two have sworn though on the show. You've not.
No, it's more the actions. I was,
Don't.
don't.
Charlie's become a YouTube member. I thought he was one already.
That's right. Well, perhaps it was Phil Blundell's epic rant. I mean, Dominic Dean also says he has subscribed. But yes, right. Colin, your turn. Don't make me. Don't make me read it again, Colin. Don't make me read it again.
You won't get that from me, Gav. Honestly. Funnily enough, good evening, gentlemen. By the way.
Good evening, Colin.
I came out of the ground last night and I'd done a little bit with Alex, and
good old Griffin.
I actually surprised myself in how calm I was, because I thought to myself, what a wonderful club we have at the minute, and what a wonderful squad we have, and how wonderfully we're doing. And obviously, everybody understands that, and everybody knows that, and they know exactly where we are. They know how many points we're behind Leicester. They know how many points we're in front of Leeds. They know how many points we're in front of Norwich, more importantly. So when you add all that up, Gov, we're in a marvellous position. Yes, we could have been in an even more marvellous position if we hadn't conceded that last goal. But to be fair to the lad, it was a great finish. It hurt me as much as it hurt Rich and everybody else in that stand.
True.
But it was a great finish. I thought it was a half-decent game. Going back to what's been said about Axel, more importantly, I thought he had a above decent game last night. I thought Burgess, again, was Burgess. A good 7 out of 10, as he normally is. And, with Kieran, we've said this a million times. Matt has, Rich has, you have, Gov. I think we all 100% trust that man now. And we have to continually trust him. And I know you love Taylor, Gov. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I was really surprised he didn't start last night. I think he'll definitely, this is my opinion, I'd put money on it. I think he'll definitely start Saturday.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Yeah, but Rich, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
We thought it before, Colin. We thought this before. Like Gov said earlier, we thought he'd be starting games, and then I just think he'll go with Morsey and Luongo at home. I honestly do on Saturday.
Yeah, but the answer to that then, Rich, is he goes with Morsey and Luongo away as well. So that is how it's been.
We thought this before on a 3-game week, haven't we, Colin? When we thought, I think it was the last time before the break. I think there was a 3-game week, wasn't it? And then he played him against, I think, was it Preston then? I think he played them, Matt, didn't he? I think it was Luongo the last game before the break, and he looked a bit leggy then, and we thought he probably might miss out. Yeah, look, we'll just have to wait and see what at 2 o'clock, Colin, comes Saturday. Who's in the team? Yeah. I hope Brandon Williams is back in Saturday. I really do. No slight on Harry Clark, but I think we miss his aggression.
I must admit, on Monday, I don't think anybody saw it. Wes was doing a live interview on Look East about in the community.
Yeah, he was down the training ground, wasn't he? At the ground.
Yeah, and he looked good. And how he was and with his body language. And I haven't heard anything from anybody. That's God's honest truth. I've got a funny feeling. I reckon if I had to put money on when I think Wes will be back, I reckon Wes will be back for the West Brom game.
Yeah, I think Kieran sort of said that anyway, didn't he? It'd be weeks, and then you think you've got another 2 weeks there recovery. He's not been picked for Wales today, Colin. They've obviously picked the squad. They've got 2 games. He's not made their squad, so he can have another 2 weeks recovery, can't he? And then get him up to speed for that game. I
agree what you said, Rich, the other week. You said about along the lines of, I've always said this, and my father used to always say it about people like Paul Mariner when he was out at the side and Mitch DeVray was in. And my dad used to always say, and he was a very intelligent bloke as regards that kind of thing, he used to always say to me in the stand, if Paul weren't playing and Mitch was playing, and don't get me wrong, he was a decent first division player, but he weren't Paul Mariner. And my dad used to always say, you never realise how, or for example, when Kevin Steggles was playing in place of B, right? You never realise how good a player is until he's not playing. And that's 100% right. And I'll tell you something, you're absolutely 100% right, Rich. We have missed Wes. Everybody goes on about his last final ball. Yeah, it's not the best. I wouldn't disagree with that. But I'll tell you, his work rate and everything what goes with Wes and his like the solidity he got with Brandon Williams over the last few weeks, just before he got the injury, was becoming really strong. And yeah, I think we've really missed him, and we missed. I don't think last night we missed Brandon as much. But I agree with you. I think Brandon will be back Saturday. This is only my opinion. I think Hutch will start Saturday, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor started. But another point I'd just like to make, Gov, and I know I'll probably get slammed by a lot of people, right? But I've said it to a lot of people. I've said it to my hand. I've said it to Ray, and I've said it to a lot of people. Not at this moment in time, but I think over the next year or two, I think VAR will be brought into the Championship, and I will tell you my reason for that. If you look at somebody like Luton Town, they apparently, allegedly accumulated something around about by going up £200 million by their promotion. So is anybody going to tell me, like for example, say what happened last night had happened against Huddersfield at home, last game of the season, and you ain't got them penalties, and that cost you a playoff place, right? Wouldn't you like VAR? You know, to help you in that situation when you're talking about that amount of money.
But where'd you stop? Where'd you stop? Because if it goes to the Championship, teams in Division 1 could say, well, why we've not got it in our league? Did you know, Colin? Did you know Luton haven't got VAR? You have to nip out to them houses in the away end to check it on their Sky.
That's a great point. But no, that's only just what something that come in my head about the fact, you know, the accumulation of money that the Championship, Championship.
But there's no guarantee. Them two had gone to VAR last night, guys. That it's clear and obvious error, isn't it? They say.
It is.
So there's no guarantee that if it goes to VAR, I will send all three of you, and I'll share it on my Twitter. I'll share the audio from the Newcastle game.
Is that, as Matt's done asked in the chat, is that real audio?
Yeah, it is. It's the audio from the game.
Because you're hearing AI audios these days that you don't actually quite know what's real and what's not anymore. We're living in that sort of world.
Rich, are you telling me then, if we'd have had VAR last night, both those penalties wouldn't have been given?
Well, no one can. You can't say it would or it wouldn't, because we've all seen VAR how it works. You know, I couldn't see the first one because you didn't have a great view of the first one down the other end of the first half. But the handball, I didn't need to go to VAR. I don't need a second look at that. He's got his hand up here. It's his hand. You're thinking I don't know. Sometimes you just got to suck it up, because, like Matt says, we'll probably have things that go our way. It'll just. They say it works itself out in the end.
Just a final point. It's lovely. It's really lovely to hear Matt Phillips being so positive. You're
it's sickening, Matt, honestly, it's sickening.
The first 15, 20 minutes I was listening to the show tonight, I was listening to you, Matt, and I was thinking to myself, do you know what? He's joined the Colin Plum party. You're so positive. Fantastic. You're a changed man, you know, as regards your football club, Matt. You really are.
It's because we're riding high in the Championship, Colin, not in League One. I never wanted to see Ipswich Town in League One. We're back where we should be as a minimum is where we are at the moment.
Another point, I love my football club so much, and just look at the scenario, right? And we all know what football does to you, and we all know how results, hit you where you don't want them to hit you, and sometimes, you'll get a great result when you don't expect one. You just imagine, this scenario. Plymouth are a good footballing side. I think we all agreed on that a couple of weeks ago. Now,
I know what you're going to say.
No, Rich, let me speak, please, sir. They go to Leeds, and I'm not going to go mental. They go to Leeds and they get a point, right? Leicester lose to Middlesbrough. Nobody's going to tell me that's an easy place to go. Leicester lose to Middlesbrough. I'm going to be quite sensible about that. Leeds draw with Plymouth, and we beat Swansea. Everybody will be over the moon on Saturday night.
Yeah,
that's how it changes, Rich.
But there's still 30 games to go, so we don't need to get to carry out. Just a quick one while Colin's here. I was with Ian in the social club last night. Hey, you would need to get up north, boys. 8 bottles of Bud for 15 quid.
Good Lord.
Fair enough. Colin, we appreciate you coming on. Look after yourself.
Hey, Colin.
We are overrunning ever so slightly. We are going to get to the Swansea preview soon. So if you are tuning in for that particular bit of the show,
are you still awake?
Yeah, stick with it. I know. I looked at the clock. It's like 56 minutes. Good Lord. Harp says Norris accounts are out there in trouble. Wouldn't wish against any club. They pay 130 grand in interest per week. 98 million of debt. Their wages were too high in comparison to most.
Don't worry.
I mean,
wait till Big Frank comes in there.
Frank's coming in, isn't he?
He is the type of manager you need for relegation battle. To be fair, if you're listing relegation managers, I'm sure he's the top of any list.
His CV is glowing.
Oh, yeah, radioactive glowing, with a big "do not touch" sign. I would argue, but there we go. But no, go and watch Talk Norwich City. It is. It will make you feel better after, if you are down about last night's result, because
they've taken the piss out of us for years, as we know.
Not particularly us here, but
the club.
Yeah, I just want to make that clear.
They know what's coming.
That's like I said. I was on Suffolk last night with Maffey and Graham Mack, and I said about you've got to look at perspective, and don't worry. Just wait till the 16th and we're going to smash them budgies right up because we owe them big time.
Yeah, we do. The decade of domination is going to turn into a decade of depression.
Yeah, Gav's getting that sign made as we speak.
Yeah.
It's wrong because they're not where we left them. They're much worse. The position we left them in, as the accounts would tell you. Last word on last night goes to Stephen Parry. Stephen, who's normally used to, 6 bottles of Bud for how much?
Oh, bloody hell, look, there he is. He's dipped his hand in his pocket and he's got the white shirt.
I said I would if I liked it. I didn't like.
Why are we wearing it? Why are we wearing it last night anyway, Steve? Because blue against red all day long, isn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be. It was really a sales technique for the first game.
Kit crimes.
At the end of the day, I like it. It actually looks better in person. Actually, I was surprised when it came. It came Monday, so I thought perfect. I can.
It's a bit like you. It's a bit like you when I met you at Wigan. You're better in person than on here, aren't you?
I'm completely different in person. I'm like, who the fuck are you, like? Pardon the French. I don't want Gov to go through his spiel again.
Do the spiel again, Martin.
No, on last night, we do have to take a bit of perspective. Rotherham's not an easy place to go for anyone. You look at some of the games they've had at their ground. They've had some good results. Should we have won? Really, yes. Probably not. We didn't do a lot. We weren't that threatening. We did have some chances, but they were defending for their lives. They were blocking shots at left, right, and centre. And we weren't clinical. So you could argue, no, we didn't deserve to win it. They had a couple of good shots. I think we probably made mistakes for both the decent chances. I think like Saturday, we were victims of our own downfall. And I think Sky said that. I think we're causing our own problems, let alone them causing us problems. For most of the game, they didn't lay a glove on us. We controlled the game. It's just when we had some sloppy moments, they got into it. And that Hugo, good God, the size of it. And Leif Davis, he's going down like he's been whacked with a stick. That guy knows how to win a free kick. And the top and bottom of it is, that's what they were playing for. They were playing for the free kicks, and our players were too naive to realise that's what they were doing. They were either naive or they didn't know. But I'd have been saying, look, they're going to go down at the first possible moment in our box so they can get the ball in the box. And every single time they went anywhere near them, it was, they were, you know, and it was masterful. And that's how they play, and credit to them. And I don't think there's enough credit given to Rotherham in teams like that for coming up and playing a damn good game. It wasn't pretty. It was bloody ugly. But the top and bottom, that's how they play. And we should have realised that's how we play. They played like that in League One, and that's how they've done us. You know, top and bottom of it is, it's done. We didn't win, but look where we are. We're second in the table, 8 ahead of Leeds. Before the season, I said 8th to 12th, you know. So where we are now, well ahead of where I am. So I'd be happy with 4th right now, you know. But, you know, you've got to realise, we've only just been promoted. Yeah,
100%.
We're not even the finished article yet.
Yeah.
And we're already, and you can shoot me down. We're already punching above our weight. You know, Leeds have got a better squad and mega times more spending power than us. Leicester as well. Southampton as well. You know, they should be, in my opinion, they should be the 3 that go up. If one of them don't go up, that'll be, to me, is a massive failure. You know, if we go up ahead of any of those, yeah, we can consider ourselves fantastically proud of our club. And I'm already proud of our club. Even if we finish 4th, I'm massively proud of our club because we've only gone in one direction. Everyone can say the team who finished 1st in the Championship is now what, 20 places behind us or 18 places behind us? You know, we should be proud of what's happening, not castigating it was a poor performance, something like that. These happen. Everybody has a poor day. Everybody has an off day. You know, take any club in this league and take 3 of their best players out. And that's what we had last night. We had Williams out, we had Broadhead out, we had Burns out. 3 are probably our best players, and they were out. You do that with Leeds. Take out the left winger, the right winger, and Pirro. I guarantee Leeds struggle. Probably not as badly as we do, but I bet they're not as clinical as what they usually are. So it can happen to anyone. And I think also, we don't know the full extent of the virus that's been going around for the last week or so. A lot of the players might have been playing with something because we've no choice. You know,
true. Yeah, good point.
Williams had it, then Brody was out with an illness. He might have had an illness on Saturday. We don't know. You know, you never know. Like I said, you're contagious when you don't know you've got it. You know what I mean? When you know you've got it, you're not contagious anymore. So you probably already passed it on to everyone. You know, if it's anything like COVID, you know, they always say you're contagious before you know you've got it. So a lot of the lads might be suffering with something, some at varying degrees, and that might take their energy levels down a peg or two. I don't know. I'm just speculating as to why this week's been particularly lethargic. You know, it could be just the fact that a bug's gone in the camp and a few players have got it. You know,
good point. Right point,
nothing we can't. You can't do anything about it. But I still think we've not had a very good run-in or go at Rotherham, and we've got to draw. Come on. I think we've lost the last 4 in a row, though, so this time we haven't lost. I'm happy with that.
Good point, Steve, as always. We appreciate you coming on.
Look after yourself. A little bit because it was a little bit last night. You know,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Steve's saying.
I agree with everything Mike said last night, except the penalty. I do think it probably was. I just do think it was the way he fell over. The referee went, I'm not sure, even though it looked obvious to me. But I'm not going to argue about refs because the simple fact is, I'm a believer of you have to win the game despite of the ref, not win the game because of the ref. If you win the game because of the ref, for me, you didn't win. You were given the game, even if it's legit. I want my team to win regardless of what the referee does.
Okay, that's an interesting point. We love it. We appreciate you, Steve. Look after yourself, man. Looking good in that new shirt. Well done. We kind of interweave the Swansea preview in terms of, you know, who you would, who you wouldn't sort of select, etc. But it is Swansea this weekend. They have won 3 away games, I think, on the spin. If you look at the 11 that started last night, where would your changes be coming? You've mentioned obviously Taylor coming in, the pair of you. So I'm guessing you're looking at that area. Would you be keeping Axel and Cameron as your centre half pairing? Is that Is that something you want to see again, or do you want to revert back to normal, Rich? Brandon Williams, if he's fit, or do you say Harry Clark's not performed poorly enough to remove him if Brandon's been ill and not able to train as regularly as we'd like?
He was on the bench when he last night, William. So I'd expect him to come. He'd come back in when he met. I would have thought so. Centre halves. Look, I just want a pairing that you just play together. So Wolfie's. I think Wolfenden comes back in, and Wolfenden and Burgess, and then you've got the break, and then we go to West Brom. So midfield, I think I said to I think it was Colin. I think Luongo plays Saturday. I think it'd be Luongo and Morsey. Hutchinson will play on the right. Broadhead will be back in, and then you've got Hurst and Chappers, who I thought he was a little bit quiet last night, Martin, wasn't he, Chaplin? He didn't really have his shooting boots on. He had a couple of chances there second half, and he sort of snatched them and fired over the bar, but. Yeah, like you said earlier, Matt, 29,000 Saturday, back at home. Get another 3 points, and then that'll be 11 points from the 5 games that you've played, which is still a very good haul. Yeah. And it could have been better, but we're still going in with no defeats. But would anyone have thought one defeat if we don't lose Saturday in the first 16 games?
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
I've seen a few posts that say it's something. We win on Saturday. The missing word starts with a V. We're not in that territory yet, are we, Matt? Where it's vital.
I think off the back of 2 draws, maybe you want to keep the gap as wide as you can from third, because after a certain time, if it's so big, you get into, like those Leeds fans have told Colin, if you get into double figures, that seems kind of a bit of a Mount Everest to climb, I think. Because you're reliant on winning back-to-back games all the time, and us putting together a load of clutch losses. I probably just from a confidence point of view, you're going into the international break. You've haven't got a game to follow up. I think anytime you go into a kind of break and a period where you're not playing games, you want to go in on with a result.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm pretty certain Ipswich can do it. To be honest with you, I've seen Watford. I think I saw Swansea against Watford, and they were bloody abysmal at home. They seem to be a bit of a different beast away from home. But like I said earlier, we've put sides that are kind of mid-table Championship sides to the sword this season. Stoke, Cardiff, Blackburn, to name but 3. So I think Williams will come back in. I do see that. I do think maybe Taylor might get the nod. He scores last night, albeit he probably didn't know too much about it. And I think Broadhead probably comes in. Is everyone back on the train now that Harness is an impact sub rather than playing from the start? I don't know. Could you see Chaplin sit down and Harness take that 10 role? I don't know. I mean, in terms of the centre halves, I still don't get the thinking of giving Tuanzebe minutes last night, considering Wolfenden has done and Burgess have done so well. I don't think you'd see many sides sit down rest one of their centre halves when you've had such a great, one defeat in 15 and you've got a huge gap over third place. But we don't really know the thinking behind that. But I think I'd like to see probably Wolfenden and Burgess come back because they've been solid.
I do agree with Matt. It's like when you've not got a game for 2 weeks, you want to get that win because you don't want to sit on it for 2 weeks and you think you've had a couple of draws and then say we draw on Saturday and then you've got to stew for a couple of weeks and then it's obviously West Brom away on Sky, which will be that'll be another big test for Town. So get the victory Saturday, keep a clean sheet, and then we can all go away from Portman Road happy and then look forward to the games obviously into November, end of November, Martin, and then December's massive, isn't it? There's some massive games in there. If you look at across the fixtures, they're all big games. All of them.
They really?
Yeah. When December? I thought it was
all of them
in December. I didn't think there was anything big happening in December.
There you go.
I
know you're going on holiday. I know you're going on holiday in December. That's probably the highlight. There you go.
I think what Saturday does is look. We was all ecstatic over coming back from a 2-goal deficit to get the draw at Birmingham, and of course then they throw in the worldie last night to get a 2-2 draw with us. So Saturday does gives you the opportunity to address the balance. But when you are going into an international break, if you don't get those 3 points, and as Rich says, you can stew on that, and we want to go in that with momentum. And I'm pretty certain we will do.
All right, score prediction, Rich.
Let's have a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory that we can sit there We can enjoy the game, and we're not chewing our fingernails by shipping a couple of dodgy goals. And like Matt said, that's, I think, 4 games on the bounce that we've conceded first.
Conceded, yeah.
You don't want to do that again. You don't want to keep making it a habit and do it again on Saturday. You want to come out, and we normally start really fast, don't we, at Portman Road? You know, and get the crowd behind them and get that early goal. And yeah, I think a comfortable 2-0 win, and we'll send them packing back to Wales.
Not called fast start Ipswich for nothing, Rich. Matt?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Probably 2-0. I mean, look, we've been a bit holy, haven't we, in defence? They've got some good players. They've got that Matt Grimes, who used to be at Exeter, who's their captain. They've got Jerry Yates up top, haven't they, who we were linked with. Wouldn't surprise me if they score, but I do feel like we have got the goal power to, if they do score, we saw it against Plymouth in the last home game, to come back and win it. So I would say maybe 2-3-1. I can see Town doing that most likely.
I think it'll be on the one hand a cagey affair, a nervy affair, and on the other hand, I think it's Ipswich at home, so probably a 5-4.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against that either.
No.
We are the entertainers, aren't we, at home?
Absolutely. Joe Roll, yeah.
Town go 4-0 down and then come back to win 5-4. I mean, that's the classic.
Well, we haven't done that yet. We've come back from two goals down 3 times. I mean, that's a little bit extreme, possibly.
The whole scoreline was extreme, but
I suppose it depends kind of what mindset Swansea are in, isn't it? Are they going to try and counter-attack us? Are they going to try and press and attack us? I'm not sure, but it feels like at Portman Road we have got some goal threat to put them to the sword.
You would have thought, you know, the game plan now is to press Ipswich high, and every team's going to do that until Ipswich Town prove they can either deal with it or have a plan to beat it.
Yeah,
because
I think that's all well and good. I think that's all well and good pressing us high when you are the home team, because like on Saturday you have the home fans there, Martin, getting behind them, and when they're coming to town and they're probably going to bring 1,000. I think that might be a little bit of a dangerous game. If they try and press us, we might be able to play around them, hopefully. But this is why I'd play. I know Wes probably won't be fit. This is why I'd play probably my first. Well, I think Hutchinson will come in, but I'd pick. This is why I'd go with Luongo and Morsey, because I think you're going into that 2-week break. I'd play me best team that I've got available, and yeah, let's just get the 3 points, and then that takes us up to 38. Would that take us after 16 games?
Yeah,
you know, and then we go into some big games after that. But look, all positive. We have to remain positive. Yeah, like you've said, Matt. There's nothing really to be negative about, and I think sometimes we've been a little bit spoiled, and we're so used to winning at the minute and rolling teams over and. Yeah. Sometimes a couple of results like this, it gives you a bit of a reality check as a fan base that it's not going to be all. Yeah, it's not all going to be sunshine and roses, is it? This is the Championship. No. This is the Championship. It's probably one of the hardest leagues out there, and to get anywhere, we're just like every single game is. I'm not saying a cup final, but every single team have got players that you can do your damage. They have. They haven't, though, mate. I know you're laughing.
It's the 8th of November.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But they're all big games. It's that we've got, like I say, we've got no Forest Green coming to town. We've got no
Forest Green. They get kicking from you.
They were useless. They were useless.
We've got no Fleetwood on a Friday. We've not got no Fleetwood bringing us 66 fans or whatever it is. This is the Championship. And
there's no Lincoln. Oh wait, hang on. No, wait. No. Hold on.
This is why I'm saying you're in such a great position at the minute, but we are exceeding all expectations, and sometimes it does need a little bit of let's just pump the brakes and get back down to earth. And it's not going to be as easy as probably some of us expect it to be.
I mean, that's totally sensible way of looking at it. But I can understand why Ipswich fans would get carried away. You go back all these years, McCarthy through the Evans era of Paul Hurst and into Lambert and into Paul Cook, and it was disappointing. And then suddenly you do get this manager in who's progressive. You've got the American ownership. You've got Mark Ashton in. All good things are coming. You've got the new pitch. The stadium looks different. I can see why people are getting carried away. But we haven't lost those 2 away games. But we've
and you have to look. You have to look, Matt and Martin, at the gap that we've got at the minute, and we're going to have to fall off a cliff to not be probably in the top 2 come Christmas. Now, just after Christmas, what comes around? The transfer window. So then that gives us an opportunity to not sit on it like we did in 14-15. We were there at Brentford that day, Gov, weren't we? When Tommy Smith was dancing around players and popping one in the top corner. And we got lazy then and thought, yeah, probably this will be all right. We'll just sign a couple of loan players. I don't think Richard Chaplow on loan, Luke Varney. I don't think we'll be seeing players of that ilk come through the door at Portman Road. I think we'll be making some moves and hopefully trying to cement that top 2 space.
Okay, I've got Freddie Plum 3-1, Dominic Dean 4-1, Harp says 4-1. So the feet well and truly on the ground here. Rob Holmes 2-1.
Just the half-time scores then.
4-3 from Trevor, 4-2 from Greg. Harp's gone 9-8.
What a game that'd be.
Absolute no.
We were 8-0 down at half time, no Harps.
Yeah,
we do know that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, what a comeback.
Rung's gone 2-2. 3-0 from Streaky and 4-1 from Phil. Great show tonight, fellas. We're back obviously for the match reaction immediately after the game on Saturday. And if you've seen the news, whether we win, lose or draw on Saturday or however you feel on Sunday, on Monday, you'll have a spectacular view of Uranus. So there's always that.
So this is
I wasn't that. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Matt, for putting the joke out. Cheers, Dad.
Thanks, Patrick Moore. Yeah,
it's going to be a big day, obviously Saturday, because it's Town's celebration, isn't it? For obviously what is this weekend with the poppies and that, and that always gets me. They'll have the big flag. If you look to your left, they always have the flag, don't they? Drape it down from the top of the north stand.
Really good.
What's the north? So what's the flag going to be?
You'll see it. The poppy. They always have it.
Poppy.
Top of the north stand. It always pops down. Did you see the young lad?
Joke about the,
Did you see the young lad playing the last post at the Villa Forest game on Sunday?
I didn't. How old was he?
He was about 12, and he had a little bit of difficulty, but it was so great that all the crowd, because he struggled with the last few notes of it, but all the crowd and all the players went to him, and I thought that was really nice there, because you think you're playing in front of 30,000. I mean, that would make you nervous. I mean, we sit here in front of like hundreds of people every week. And they think it's easy, don't they? When we stumble over our words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not all staring at us in a stadium.
No, very true.
Not yet. They've not let us live.
I've got to go. I've got to go for the dog walk.
Yep, that's what he says.
Oh, he's off.
That man, there's the cruncher. That man, there's the media mogul. I am the man bringing the solar system jokes. The Gov. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. See you all on Saturday evening when Town have demolished another championship team. See you later.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you.